Hello everyone and welcome to Sunburned. Albino ranks every boss in Angerfoot from easiest to hardest. If you've never heard of this game, Angerfoot is a fast-paced, room-clearing and goon-kicking FPS where you have to reclaim your stolen sneakers from a series of criminal gangs, and it's a fantastic time, but it also has a few bosses that change things up a bit. None of them are particularly hard, but some are harder than others, and mostly I just hope this video brings more awareness to the game, because it has less than 800 Steam reviews at the time of writing this, and it deserves way more. Starting from easiest and working our way to hardest. Number 5. The Crime Minister. Shit City, actual name, is a place infested with and run by crime. Everyone is a criminal, everyone is in a gang, and everyone is in your way. Actually, a lot of them aren't, but you can still kick the crap out of them anyway. At the end of a long and violent journey through multiple gangs, you arrive at the tower of the Crime Minister, the Lord of all crime, who tells you that he orchestrated the heist of your precious shoes, and your actions of destroying all the gangs to reclaim them were all part of his plan to turn the city into a crime-free utopia. He offers you a choice: either kick your sneaker collection into the fire and join him to bring about a peaceful apocalypse, or kick him out a window, jump after him, and initiate a boss fight where you just kick him until he lands on the ground and dies. Obviously more of a cinematic thing than a challenge thing. You just keep bitch slapping the dude with your bare feetsies until you're both on the pavement. Luckily you're the protagonist, so you take no fall damage, but yeah, easiest boss by design. Number 4, the CEO. The leader of the third gang you tear through, the business gang. Different shoes can help achieve different effects and make boss fights easier or harder. For this one, I'm using the shoes that make it so every weapon is a shotgun, because it turns every weapon into an absolute DPS machine and melts HP bars like they don't even exist. When I first got these shoes, I assumed they just turned every weapon into a shotgun, but no, they actually turn every weapon into a shotgun. Big difference. Every weapon becomes a shotgun version of the original weapon. So this rifle starts out putting buckshot to an insane degree and makes the first two phases of the boss a joke. Unfortunately, the third phase, he can only be damaged by shooting the rockets he tries to shoot at you, and that does considerably less damage, so you'll be there a while. But I've done this boss without the shoes, and you can still kill the first two phases relatively quickly if you just strafe around the kitty and kick it constantly while shooting. The third phase might take the longest, but you're in the least danger since all it does is jump nowhere near you and spawn these laser crystal walls to unsuccessfully box you in. It's like living alone and downsizing from a 1,500 square foot apartment to 1,000. Still plenty of room to walk around barefoot and eat popcorn with your toes. Number 3, Goo Cop. The first boss of the game, leader of the violence gang. You can use the thruster shoes to get a double jump in midair to make it easier to kick the helicopter, and they have the added hidden benefit of lighting any goons you kick on fire, which can spread to others and keep them off you. Some of the shoes in this game do more than what their descriptions say. Like, did you know that in addition to giving you a respawn once per level, the holy sandals also let you walk on water or slime without taking damage? It's neat that there's hidden mechanics at play, or frustrating if you're the kind of guy who hates not knowing everything. Anyway, Goo Cop's first phase is just sticking to the sides of the copter to not get shoved off the roof, and then the second phase introduces bombing runs that will actually one-shot you if you're careless, which is pretty much the only thing that makes this even slightly harder than the CEO. The third phase drops the boss into a car that swerves around trying to flail you, but you probably won't get hit by it if you paid attention in physics class, or barring that, have ever seen physics of any kind in a video game before. Number 2, the Sludge Baron. This boss is like if Nickelodeon was Adult Swim. The Sludge Baron is a giant slime dildo that slams down on the ground and needs a swift kick in the tip. The first phase is just circling around avoiding slams, and even if you get knocked into the drink, you can just hop back out and avoid damage for 2 seconds to regenerate. After a couple kicks, you'll start doing the infamous Papu Papu maneuver and spin around the arena underneath your jumps. After the first phase, he turns into even more of a monster, and the game becomes kicking explosive shit back in his face. The timing can be finicky, so if you see him fondling a barrel, wait till it's actually flung before you try to kick it, but it also just might explode on the tip of your foot for no reason, and I feel like they know that's a semi-frequent occurrence, because they made it so you don't die in one boom, or else that'd be super annoying. The explodey head guys also drop in on occasion, and you can do an outside jump around them to kick them into the boss too. Third phase has you crawling inside its mouth and defeating its pugilistic brain, making use of all the shotguns that get dropped down there and just avoiding its punches. Not a hard boss by any means, but you might die a couple times getting used to it. Number 1, Pizza Pig. The hardest easy boss in Angerfoot is Pizza Pig, leader of the Debauchery Gang, in a game where pizza is the main symbol of sin for some reason. I was waiting for the Ninja Turtles to join this gang. You think it's going to be all drug trips and sexual depravity, but everything's about pizza with these people. Though as someone who has pizza at least once a week, it's definitely a hedonistic indulgence, and damn, I want some right fucking now. Let's party. First phase, Pizza Pig gets kicked off the edge whenever he almost falls over, and it's an easy time except for the whirlwind attack that is sometimes hard to track track where he's going. Boot him into the cheese enough times and he slurps it all up, becoming a six-tittied monstrosity like an all-female human centipede. With this, pick up a crossbow and just dodge the extremely telegraphed debris raining down until you notice cheese coming out of the walls, which signals that it's time to climb on a rock and impale as many fatty nipples as you can. If you're quick, you can get 3, maybe 4 before the cycle repeats itself, and this phase will be over no sweat. The third phase is the reason this is the hardest boss in Angerfoot, not because it's particularly difficult to pull off, but because you can actually die if you don't destroy the explosive pig eggs the newly evolved spider pig hatches. I don't think this one's voiced by John Mulaney, but I also did no research into the possibility. One explosion and its curtains for you and your boat, the shoes that make you resist explosive damage might mitigate that, but I didn't test it. If you're not in an absolute rush to kill the boss, the third phase gets easier when you afford yourself the time to shoot each pig as it hatches, which is maybe easier said than done with the horrendous boat controls, but it's still the idea, and then you can wash your hands of this Choo-Choo Charles-ass fight. And that's gonna do it for this boss ranking. Short and sweet like a tasty midget. Like, share, and subscribe. Watch all my other videos with one foot out the door, and I'll see you guys next time.